Friday the 13th. This is Whole Night Podcast. I'm your host, Austin. My co-host is Mike.
Yo.
We got a big show. We got Emily Kirk on the show. Welcome to the show, Emily.
Welcome.
Hello. Thank you for having me, guys.
It's great to have you on. Let's get right into the whole news. Zombie 2 is coming out. Yes, Zombieland 2 is official. With director Ruben Fleischer, all stars are returning to the set. Set for 29 release, the film will begin production January 29th, 2019 and has an October 2019 release date. So I
This
cannot...
time, Tallahassee's gonna go for snow cones.
Yeah, I hope so. And this is my favorite one. Freddy Krueger and Jason Voorhees cereal is now available for fry online and in the store.
I seen them in F4H actually this evening. They're actually out. Like, I was ready to get one Jason one. I'm like, yeah, I seen them out there. They are out in stores.
What kind of cereal is that? Like, is it like marshmallows, or what does it look like?
It looks like a flavored Cheerios.
Yeah, it's kind of like that.
Yeah.
Big news for horror fans. Whoever is hearing this episode, fans of everywhere in the universe, Comic-Con, yes, Comic-Con 2018. Comic-Con is starting in July 19th through July 22nd. Big guests are gonna be there. The Walking Dead, by Scout Taylor Compton herself on her Instagram profile, that she will be at Comic-Con this year. So, I'm gonna give a shout out to Scout Taylor Compton. Please go see her at Comic-Con. I wish I got tickets to go, but I never get tickets because number one, they're expensive as hell, and number two, I'll have no way to get there, and number three, oh well. So, it's alright. So, I have a Comic-Con in my hometown, but it's not as big as Comic-Con in San Diego, but...
And we have New Jersey HorrorCon, which is awesome.
Stephen King and J.J. Abrams. Now, J.J. Abrams is the guy who created the Star Wars franchise, and the Star Wars franchise for whatchamacallit, The Last Jedi and The Force Awakens. But here's a good news about this. Stephen King and J.J. Abrams' Castle Rock premieres July 25th. I think it's like a horror series or something like that. Castle Rock is going to be on Hulu on July 25th.
Interesting.
Germany winner to co-star as Detective Twitch Williams in the new Spawn movie. So that's gonna be interesting to see.
Yeah.
Big Simpsons fans, if you like the Treehouse of Horror, here is good news for you. The 29th annual Halloween special for The Simpsons that's airing this fall is coming soon. Here is a sneak peek of that Halloween special. Homer wins a oyster eating contest against a mythical entity. Springfield is overturned by plant body snatchers. Lisa finally snaps, and Mr. Burns opens a retirement home with some drastic upgrades. So that's gonna be very interesting.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
I know. Goosebumps 2 Haunted Halloween trailer is now out. So I cannot wait to see that. The Walking Dead Robert Kirkman surprise releases Die comic. Which I have yet to see the comic, but I will, because I always read the Walking Dead comic since I can't watch the Walking Dead no more. I'm way behind on the Walking Dead.
Well, they have like 1 million seasons now, right?
They're like the what? 8 seasons.
8, I think 8 seasons so
Oh, it's
far.
only 8? For some reason I was thinking it was at least 10. That's
Yeah.
They're almost there though.
Yeah.
They're almost, yeah. I can't even pronounce the name right. I can't even talk. Cassandra Pearson to receive the Vincent Price Award at the opening night of Hollywood Horror Fest.
Nice.
The video game Friday the 13th Killer Puzzle unfortunately cannot create new content. I don't know why, it just can't. Village of the Damned hits Blu-ray this month on July 31st. Now that's an old ass movie.
Yeah. There's been so many remakes of that movie.
And here's the thing that I don't understand. I hate black and white movies.
What?
This is what the 21st century. Why would someone watch black and white movies? Now, I do like some black and white movies. It depends on who's in the movie. Like Young Frankenstein. That is a classic, and I do love that movie. So, of course, I'm going to be watching it.
You like Psycho?
Never heard of it. Never heard of it.
The first Psycho?
You gotta check it out.
I never heard of any of it.
The first Psycho.
I'm new school, remember that. I was born in 94. So, I'm new school.
It's known for the big shower scene.
Yeah, that's actually Jamie Lee Curtis's mother.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, check that out.
That's where she got it from. That's where Jamie Lee got it from.
Yep.
Okay, now since we got this news all situated, number one question, what is your favorite horror movie?
Oh, man. It's kind of tied because I love Bride of Frankenstein because I'm a fan of the classics, but I also really love Carrie because I think Sissy Spacek is an incredible actress, and I think being the, picked on kid or the weirdo, it's nice to see them getting their revenge, So.
What'd you think of the remake?
It was fun, I watched it, and I didn't dislike it. It just kind of felt like a horse of a different color.
Right, yeah, it was pretty good. I mean, it stuck to the original one a little bit, but, it was a different aspect to it. But, it kept its ground, which is great. They didn't mess anything up, though.
For sure. And also, Julianne Moore, you can't, she's incredible. Right. So, yeah, it's hard to pick a favorite one. I guess for this, I'll say Carrie. But Bride of Frankenstein is very, very up there.
Right. And probably all my fans and listening to this right now, I'm about to say probably the same movie all over again. People already know that what is my favorite movie, but I'm going to say anyway, Zombie Strippers. Just pointing out there, that's my favorite movie. Reason why? Because when a hot girl turns into a zombie and then become a stripper afterwards, it's kind of attractive for some reason.
You're into that?
I'm into that. When a hot girl turns into a zombie while becoming a stripper, now that's really hot.
Did you ever see Zombievers, about zombie beavers that kill people?
Yes, I've seen that movie and I liked it.
That's what it made me think of when you said zombie strippers, so.
Yeah. I've seen bits and pieces of that movie though.
Mine's always Jason. I always bet to Jason. I'm a big Jason fan, so.
Oh yeah. Another classic.
Today's like my holiday, so.
Okay, number 2, what is Vengeance about?
Oh man. Vengeance is really, really cool. It was a concept that Bria came up with, Bria Lynn Massey, our fearless director and writer. She came up with this concept, and it's basically this girl has been tormented, and she has this awful bullying event happen to her, and she's very torn down. She's very upset. She loses self-control of herself, and she's debating, hurting herself, and she gets this pop-up that pretty much tells her, do you want your revenge? Click here. And it goes through this weird thing where she it's almost as if she has a voodoo doll effect on herself, and anything that happens to her bully. So if she hurts her knee, her bully's knee hurts. If she cuts herself, the bully is bleeding. So it's this whole thing of how far will you go to hurt that other person, even if it's hurting yourself.
Oh, wow.
So it is a horror film, but there's a lot more depth to it than I think people are typically expecting from a horror film.
Now, how was it like working with Bria in that movie?
It was really cool because I've worked with her a couple times now because we met for a kind of horror suspenseful web series a couple years ago, and she always has a really clear vision of what she wants. So she's very direct with you, and she's very good. She's being an actress herself. She is good about knowing about an actor needing to prepare and get into that headspace. So she's very good at like giving you that time and helping accommodate you to get you ready for that. And she's always ready to go hard, like all the blood, all the gore, anything to make the story where it needs to be.
Now, I mean, she was scheduled to be on this episode, but which I'm very happy to have you on in replacing of her because she's very, very cool.
She's a busy gal. She is always doing something. So.
I know. She told me that.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Because I'm a big fan of hers, so.
She's got quite a good. She's going to be going far for sure. I don't have any doubts. Keep an eye on her.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah. Number 3. How is it like being in a horror movie?
Oh man, it's so fun. Ever since I was younger, my dad would show me classic horror movies. So I grew up with Frankenstein, Dracula, the Wolfman, Creature from the Black Lagoon, and then I was able to graduate to Halloween films and watching Elvira and seeing all that. So I love the campiness of horror films. I love how over the top they can be, but also how terrifying. It's interesting how this film genre can go in so many different ways. Like we just recently saw Hereditary, and I had a hard time like sleeping that night. But then we can talk about movies like Zombievers or Zombie Strippers, and it's hilarious. So I think it's so cool how versatile horror can be, and being able to go over the top and be crazy and be bloody or be weird.
Right, and the evolution came so far from, like I said, black and white movies from Psycho to now. The evolution is amazing. You know, now there's comedy to it and stuff like that, which is great. You know.
Yeah, and it's just gonna keep going. I think, honestly.
Right.
Now, that's kind of funny to talk about Hereditary because I was talking about that in a couple of episodes earlier about Hereditary, telling our listeners to go check that movie out, and I have yet to see it. Now, is Hereditary a good movie to recommend to watch?
Oh, I think it's the acting is incredible. Toni Collette, also the score. I'm having a brain fart on the composer's name right now. It was Colin Stetson did the score, and the whole film is so eerie, and it kind of goes in a lot of ways you're not expecting. He's the same composer who did 12 Years a Slave.
Oh wow!
Okay.
So the film is. I mean, even if you think you've pinned down what's going on, you won't. It's going to surprise you.
Wow.
So I would recommend it, but I had a hard time sleeping that night.
Well, it's evident because now when I
had a hard time with The Ring, so I don't know.
Now, when I saw the movie Evil Dead, the remake, now that movie, I swear to God, it scared the crap out of me. When I was watching, I saw it on long time ago. It was Friday the 13th, and I saw it on my computer. And I went to bed around 11:30 that night. I got up around 3 a.m. That was witching hour, and and I heard a knocking on my door. I opened my door, no one was there. I went back to sleep, more knocking on my door. Stuff was going crazy. I was doing rituals after rituals, telling the spirit to leave my room. It would not leave. I was freaking out. I was almost in tears. I was about to give my parents away and say, "There's a freaking demon in my room."
Oh my god, that's so freaky when that happens. Like, I swear to God, the house that I lived in with my mom, there is something upstairs in my bedroom. Like, I don't know if it's a ghost or what it is, but like, it's weird because even people who come over to stay the night, like, they can tell there's a presence there. Like, it's always like at the foot of the bed, or people hear it going up and down the stairs. So I totally know what you're talking about, and
No.
it's so scary, and people don't believe you.
I get worried, easily scared. Like, for example, when a bee comes near me, I freak out. Because I'm scared and petrified of bees. But when I went to a horror screen when I was little, at Busch Gardens, with this chicken with a chainsaw, that gave me in tears. Because I didn't know what that was when I was a kid. I mean, that scared the crap out of me. A chicken in a costume with a chainsaw chasing people with a chainsaw. I mean, who in the hell thinks of this weird crap to little kids? I mean, it's petrifying. So, ever since then, I never went back to a horror screen. Never. So every time we got season passes, we make sure that we don't get the October horror screen pass, because I do not want to go back to there.
You get chased by a chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty scary.
And
that sounds terrifying.
And these things like jump at you out of the bushes, like for.
See, I can't go something like that because my reaction, I got a fast reflex. I'll probably punch him right in the face.
And then they have these like little things on the ground. They make a weird loud noise when they scratch the concrete on the ground. And it's a loud, scary sound. That is scary as hell. I mean, it's like living in a horror movie. It was so bad. And every year it gets scarier and scarier. So like, well, no more for me. No more for me. I'm done. I am done. Ever since then, like for example, last couple of years on Halloween, I'm like Michael Myers. Because I bought the Michael Myers costume at a Halloween store. It was based on the Rob Zombie Halloween. I got the full-on mask and the costume itself. I didn't get no knife or anything because they were scared of little kids. But since I'm old now, I can't go trick-or-treating. I scare everybody in my neighborhood. I mean, it's illegal to do that because I could get arrested, but I don't give a crap. They can't stop me.
I did a Jason's Party Part 3. I did that for cosplay at convention. It was a good hit.
So anyway, that's what is it. Last and final question before we end this episode. Any future projects you're working on?
Oh man, well, finishing Vengeance is going to be really great. We're finishing filming that in August, and it's hopefully, ideally, we're going to get some distribution, get to show off the awesome cast, the stellar crew. Robert Bravo does all the FX makeup, and it's incredible. Like, all the burns and the blood and the scars are really great, and Michelle's such a good, Michelle Jernan is my leading lady, and it's going to be really cool. That'll be coming out soon. And then I worked with Michelle in another thing. We recreated a scene from the film Closer, which is more of a dramatic take, not a horror thing. And then I'm always doing comedy. I like to try to get as many shows as I can. So doing shows, and I did the Riot Girl Women's Comedy Festival this year. Let's see, trying to think. I'm always submitting for things and always trying to find new opportunities. Oh, I have another short film I'll be doing that's more of a dramedy, so a little more funny comedy type thing. And yeah, just the future's always open. So if anyone has any good ideas, hit me up. You can check me out at my website, emilienkirk.com.
Now,
maybe we can work together.
Yeah.
I'm working on a lot of good projects, so I'll probably hit you up.
Okay.
Yeah, and me too for my podcasting stuff. Now, before we end this episode, I gotta ask you something. Is that the same Michelle you talking about who was in a teaser video on Facebook with she was like dragging her leg out of the pool screaming?
That is the same Michelle, and I did that to her.
She is very... I love her. She's very talented in that scene, in that teaser video. I mean, she's very cute. I mean, I tried to get her on the show, but Bria couldn't get her because she was, like, out of town or something.
She actually, I believe she was doing some work in China.
Yeah, that's...
She has, not only is she an actress, but she has a big girl job, too. So, she is another one to keep an eye out on because she's going to really explode because working with her, she's very talented. Not only is she pretty, beautiful, but she's very talented and a very good listener and a very good scene partner to work with because she's 100% in the scene and ready to give it her all. So
she must have a good job to work all the way in China. I mean, back and forth to the States and to China. I'm sure she has a big job where she works in China. So.
Yeah, I don't remember, but you know, you go where the work takes you.
I know.
So.
Absolutely.
So anyway, please check us out on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. Join our family of horror. Join our Facebook group, Horror Night Podcast, and become a fan and member of our family of Horror Night Podcasts. Please check our recent episodes on YouTube, and please, I strongly recommend you listeners to check out our new episode that once this episode is completed. Check out this episode with Emily Kirk, and next week our show is going to be bigger and better than ever. We're having a horror icon on the show. We're having Bobby Wilde on the show from Hellraiser. So please check us out when we have Bobby Wilde, the horror icon, on the show. Can't wait to have her on the show. I'll probably fanboy out and probably have a heart attack. Who knows? But
and
anyway,
everybody should check out Vengeance. You can find it up on Facebook. You can find it on IMDb. It's going to be a full feature, and it's going to be a bloody good time.
So that's the wrap. May the force be with you, and please have a safe Friday the 13th, and make sure Jason Voorhees doesn't cut your head off.